stop pinning them. And I am not hip-hop, and I'm just not Eminem.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the... Hey, you make me a believer, believer. Hey, you make me down, you build me a believer, believer. Of my love, here we are on the way now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are on the way now. We are the warriors that... Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-chingery. Money, oh money, how I love thee. Cha-ching, cha-chong, cha-changaroo. From pennies to dollars, any amount will do. Teams. 2 years ago, I thought that Ohio State and Stanford might have been the two best teams, and they were 5 and 6 and didn't get in. So I am totally for expanding it. I'd like to see it go to 6 or 8. I'll tell you why. Number one, I'm sick of hearing about eye test, body of work, strength of schedule. Is it strength of schedule when they play a team? When Georgia beat Notre Dame wasn't ranked. You know, now all of a sudden they're one of the best teams in the country. So did they get credit for that? And let's take the committee stuff, get rid of it. I put the decisions of who's the best teams by what happens on the field, not a committee room sitting around talking. And I'll tell you what could happen, guys, and I believe this. You go ahead and leave the Pac-12 out this year. If Notre Dame gets in, and let's assume that the Pac-12 gets out, and maybe the Big Ten, we don't get in. And you talk about viewing audience, and this is college football. It's supposed to be exciting for the whole nation. But people in California, they're not going to put their TV on. They're not going to care who's in. So I'd like to see every conference, and you said it earlier, Notre Dame, you got to look at them almost like a conference because they don't play a championship game. I'd like to see every conference champion get a bid, and then you leave it open for one school, if it's Notre Dame or, you know, whoever else, you know, another good team. Make it 6 at least or 8.
Yeah.
And, you know, one last point, and I sat in those meetings when they talked about academics and playoffs. It's all about the money. Expand this thing. Let's play ball. It is all about...
is it possible that you could actually have a playoff format in college football? Well, gee, I don't know. let's start with, we can go down to the local city park, and I'll bet you somebody that handles youth football could tell you how to do something like that. Well, that's too low of a scale. Let's move it up a little bit. Okay, how about high school from a major state? Let's say Texas, Florida, or California. Let's see how they do it. Okay, let's see. These guys, you know, they win a certain number of games. They have a qualification. Okay, now, boom, they're in the playoffs. But they don't have just 2 or 4 teams or something. Hell no, because they want everybody to have fun and enjoy this playoff system. Okay, so then they play each other, and everybody's on the edge of their seat going to wait and see if this team's going to beat that team or going to beat the other team. And so then, in the end, there's occasionally a debate. If only this team hadn't lost to that team in this round, then this team could have won the whole thing, and that's perhaps true. But the thing that is indisputable is that at the end of the gauntlet, this team came out on number 1, and there's no debate whatsoever who's state champion. And then you can go to Division 3. Let's see, how do they do it? Oh, they do it the exact same way. Okay, now the suspense is really starting to get thick because, you know, Division 2 might do it differently. No, in fact, they don't. They do it exactly, boys and girls, like Division 3 does. And then now they've changed the initials because in this era of political correctness, they love to change initials and make it proper to say things one way instead of another. And I forget what the initials is. But then they go to 1AA. Okay, at 1AA. How do they do it in 1AA? 1AA. I mean, because that's getting closer to us, and we're really sophisticated because we're major 1A. How do they do it in 1AA? You know what? They have a playoff format, and they play it, and they figure it out. And then, okay. Well, they're all below us. Okay, what about above us, the NFL? And everybody, you know, that just makes you feel good to roll those initials off your. It's like Huckleberry Finn said. Some days I just have to swear to get a good taste in my mouth. Okay, so then NFL. Now that makes my mouth feel good because that's the best and they're the top. Let's see here. How did they figure out their champion? Well, they in fact organize a playoff system. And how many teams are in there? A hell of a lot more than 4.